Listen to this.
President Biden has made it legal for Ukrainian immigrants to get SSI checks. So if you are a Ukrainian refugee in America, you can apply for SSI. Help me understand that, because we have the highest black homelessness population since the 1960s. You got black people living on the street because they can't find a job and can't get any subsidy. But you're going to bring immigrants, didn't build this country, don't pay taxes, don't have a job, never paid into Social Security, but they're going to get Social Security benefits. You're taking from black people and giving to immigrants. If that is not the greatest example of white privilege in this decade, I don't know what is. That's not a civilization. To neglect those who built the country and give their resources to white people from another land is one of the greatest examples of disproportionality, bias, racism, and discrimination I've ever seen. And at the same time, you're sending the Haitians back. Haitians got to get on a boat and go home, but the Ukrainians can come get free housing, free medical, free insurance, and an SSI check.
President Biden has made it legal for Ukrainian immigrants to get SSI checks. So if you are a Ukrainian refugee in America, you can apply for SSI. Help me understand that, because we have the highest homeless population in our history. We've got Americans living on the streets because they can't find a job and can't get any subsidies because they maybe made too much. But you're going to bring immigrants who didn't build this country, don't pay taxes, don't have a job, never paid into Social Security, but they are going to get Social Security benefits. You're taking from average Americans and giving it to immigrants. If that isn't the greatest example of elitism at the highest level, stealing and neglecting its own city's citizens, aka class warfare portrayed by the very people we elected to defend us, who are instead betraying us in this decade, then I don't know what that is. That's not a civilization, to neglect those who build a country and give their resources to illegals and immigrants from another land. Is no from another land is one of the greatest example of disproportionality, basis, bias, racism, and discrimination I have ever seen. And at the same time, Americans have to pay for a higher cost of living with little to no help. Veterans are on the streets, homeless, while the Ukrainians can come to America and get free housing, free medical, free insurance, and an SSI check. That is the stand of most conservative. This is the difference between, conservatism and liberalism. I care about Americans. I will put Americans before I put anybody else. Not with all the sweat and the tears and the shit that we've been through here in this country. There's no way I would put another person above an average American, or just an American in general. And to have our politicians do it, and those who claim to be American support them, you're not American. You should be ashamed of yourself.